Okay, this is my engine Sprint4. So right off the bat, I don't have the new collision stuff in. It didn't end up working for me. I'll talk a little bit about what my process was, but I've just a couple other things to show you, but the main stuff isn't done. So I was trying to compute the data for AABB, taking only the min and the max of a B-sphere, since we gave a default B-sphere to each collidable, and we reconstruct the min and the max from the center and the radius. And I was thinking, well, we'll just pass these in to compute data as a separate function and then compute the world that way. And then after that, within my collision groups is where I would, it would have its own AABB, current min and current max, and then each time update is called, it goes through the list, updates the min and max using the min and max of all the AABBs, or sorry, all the B spheres. So it gets the complete min and then the complete max of all the collidables in the group, and then compute data and then show the visualizer. But that wasn't working, so I'm gonna keep working on that. But from last week, you asked me to stress test my particles. So right now, in my first scene, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 particle emitters, and they're all emitting at a rate of 1.5, I believe. Or actually, no, way faster, 0.01. So every 0.01 seconds, I'm going to spawn a particle, and I have 6 of those, I believe I said. Anyway, so I'll run this. And then here they are. I'm still running at a stable 60. It seems like even though there's a lot of draw calls, they don't affect it too much. Maybe a frame dip or so, but it seems pretty stable. So it's not necessarily going to be the way I'm implementing the particles, but more just probably inevitably the draw calls. But as of right now, it seems pretty good. I don't think there's a use for this many particles, but it's definitely something to think about when I stress test. Another thing that you can notice, probably, you have sound on. Of course you have sound on. I'm sorry, running on like 3 hours of sleep. There's sound, so the tank has sound when it moves, and then when I shoot. And I'm using Erklink for this. So I have a sound manager to act as a wrapper for the Erklink stuff, because it seemed a bit too complex to make the user do everything that you have to do. So the engine internally, when it sets up, it creates a new audio channel, and it sets up the Erklink system. And if they want to query any sounds or load any sounds, they use Sound Manager. To input new sounds, they do it in load resources, the same way they do with everything else. You just put in a key and a file name, and then the Sound Manager takes that in. Load sound loads it into a list of, a map with a key and the file name. And whenever the user wants to play that sound, either in 2D or 3D audio, for 2D, it just calls play on the object in the map. If it's 3D sound, I can pass in the position. These will loop, so whether or not the sound should loop. But 3D, I pass in the position, and then I set the position of the sound, and then that's how that works. Setting the listener position, of course, that's almost always just going to be the position of the tank. But if the user wants to change it for whatever reason, they can do so here. They can ask if a sound is currently playing, they can ask to stop a specific sound, and they can terminate the engine or set the volume. It's kind of just a really basic wrapper for sound, but it gets the job done. And again, the reason I did this is because I don't know how far I was going to get with particles, so I'm going to do both particles and sound and see how refined I can get both of these systems. But I think more or less I'm on the right track. But again, I don't have the collision stuff. I'll try to get that done for next week, but thanks for watching.